Lights, camera, action! Let's start the show. Here's a little bit of wedding advice from me to help your love story unfold. Grab your crowns, ladies. Grab your crowns. Here. Awesome, awesome, awesome. I think we are ready to go. This is your wedding series, and it's all about planning your wedding from age 14, but we have fast forwarded to the age in which you are engaged, and that's a different age for everybody because most people are not getting married at age 14 years old. But we have now fast forwarded into the age in which you are engaged, and we are now in season 2, episode 14. And we're talking about the mood board, the vision board. Now, we've talked about this a little bit in the past about creating your DIY corner and making sure that you have some amazing tools to help you stay organized and get to planning. Now, this is definitely going to help those that like to plan things, people who like to be hands-on. They don't want to give all the control to a wedding planner. So they are excited about creating, right? And having that vision for that day. But we've talked about the fact that it's not just your wedding day. There are some wedding events that you may or may not have in between the proposal and the wedding day itself. So that's why we're creating a vision board for all of it, this mood board. You guys heard me call it like a mock-up. These are your designs, okay, that are going to keep you going, keep you inspired throughout the entire wedding process. Now, many of you may have already started the mood board when I mentioned back earlier in the beginning of season 2, I had mentioned about the mood board, the task board, your notebook, your budget binder, all of these things that are going to help to keep you organized, right? And so I called them your 8 must-haves in order to get this wedding planning on the go. Now, many people think that they need a wedding planner, but if you just look around, there's a lot of free guides and guidance and tips on how to plan a wedding without a wedding planner. But obviously, you've got to be kind of good by this point in your life at planning. That's why we talked about in season 1 how to start planning for your wedding at age 14. And one of those pieces of advice that I gave was start planning events. Start putting on events and planning events and taking charge, being a leader, whether it be male or female. It could be either one of you that was doing this starting at age 14 all the way through college if you chose to go to college. And now you're getting into adulthood. You're getting into this whole wedding planning era, your engagement era. And so this shouldn't feel foreign to you at this point when it comes to planning. And I would say, like, this is a skill that everyone should pick up, whether you're going to get married or not. Being able to plan something is a good skill. I think it's a great skill. But obviously, if you don't want to, or if you don't know how, you never became really good at that, you are definitely welcome to spend your money and get a planner. There are people who will do the things that we don't want to do. That's what this world has become. You don't want to build your house by hand, somebody else will build it by hand and charge you a lot more money than you would have paid if you had just did it yourself. It's always going to be less expensive if you just do it yourself. Let's get into our notes and let's get into this deep dive of today's topic when it comes to your mood board. Like I said, most of you probably already started. Take your mood board out right now and look at it. What does it look like? Did you get started? Do you have anything on your mood board at all? Hopefully you have something. Hopefully you at least have the words wedding, or you've got your logo on there. Remember, we talked about your logo. We talked about your monogram. Things like that to help keep you inspired on the mood board. Let's talk a little bit more about some more details that you could be adding if you haven't already, and things that could stand out to you whenever you look at the mood board. So first of all, I would definitely put your wedding date. on the mood board, right? That's important. Put your wedding date, put your 2 names up there because it feels more real when you can see your names or you can see your initials, your logo on the mood board, okay? Your vision board for your wedding. And then you're going to put down all of those events that you've decided to have. We've already discussed all of the wedding events. For any of you who don't know what those are, please, 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 please go and look at my descriptions in my videos because I do break down what those events are. And then we're going to go into detail later each of those events and like why they're so significant in the wedding series. Okay. And so we just had talked about which events are you going to have, what are you going to wear, and things like that in order for you to start thinking about which events you want. So you're going to have that on your mood board. At the very least, you're going to have engagement party. You're going to have bridesmaids proposal brunch if you're going to have one. You're going to have wedding dress shopping. You may not have to put wedding gown shopping on there, but I think you should because then you can put your inspo for your gowns, okay? So you should have at least gotten this far so far, as well as the wedding venue like for that day, which are, what you guys have decided on where you're going to be getting married. Not that you may not have the exact space put down yet because we haven't gone wedding venue shopping, but you should have inspo on what you would like for that day to look like when you look around the room. The colors, the flowers, the ambiance of the room should already have been on your board, or at least you're going to start putting some of these things on your board, okay? So when it comes to your engagement photo shoot, hopefully you've also put down like your location, and because that engagement photo shoot should be coming up pretty soon here. And so you want to have already have gone to see the engagement photo shoot in person. You've got some pictures that you can either print out or put on your digital mood board, however you're doing your mood board. We talked about different options of that already. Right now, you're just taking it out, you're looking at it, and you're saying, okay, do I have some of these things that she's talking about? Have I listed my wedding events on my mood board? I at least did that, like listed some of the events that I'm going to have. Have I gotten venue inspo pictures from some of the like venues that are standing out to me? Remember, you're going to be able to add and take away when it comes to your mood boards. You're going to be able to put stuff on. You're going to be able to take stuff off if it doesn't fit your vision anymore, right? So you don't have to feel like, okay, well, I'm putting too much on here and this is probably not going to stay. And you're right. It's probably not going to stay on there. So that's okay for you to have just be getting ideas. It's about ideas and getting you excited about this whole wedding series process. A lot of times I feel like people are stressed out about the wedding itself and they're not having enough fun. We should be having fun. We should be getting excited. We should be wearing our crowns whenever we start doing our planning. We take our notebook out, our budget binder out. We take out our mood board, our task board, all the things, right? All those beautiful tools that I gave you to like keep going and keep at it, but doing it with a smile and a crown. You guys see what I did there? A smile and a crown. Okay. Surrounding you. Okay. So these are things that are going to help you to do that, to stay uplifted during this time. The next thing that you want to have on your mood board by now is like your wedding style. We have discussed your wedding style, so hopefully you've been taking notes on that. And then you start incorporating it onto your mood board. You start putting some of the colors, some of the fabric that you envision for that day. I love lace and pearls and satin and things like that. I love the color white. So you start putting down your colors, and this is the mood. You're setting the mood. That's why it's called a mood board, a vision board. You're setting the vision, the tone for your big day coming up. But like I said, you've got those wedding events in between. So you want to start getting visions for those too. Eventually, you're going to have visions for your bachelorette party on what you would like for that to look like. You're going to have visions for your Hindu party. Visions in mood for your bridal shower, your wedding shower, your rehearsal dinner, you're going to start grasping and getting all kinds of inspo for that. What you want it to look like. What kind of foods do you want? What kind of decorations do you want? Okay, that's what the mood is. It's not just the outfits, all right? But obviously, you're definitely getting those outfits together along with the decor and the food and the ambiance, okay? Maybe there's even like a favorite song that you want to make sure that they play that favorite song. Let me add that into my notes as well, because I don't want to forget that one. Favorite songs. Okay, so you want to add that into for your mood board as well, okay? There may be a song that just really stands out to you. You're like, oh, we have to make sure that that is played when we have this specific event, right? Okay, so then there is, we talked about the engagement photo shoot locations and getting those ideas for those and then narrowing it down. That's what the mood board is helping you to do, to narrow things down, as well as you see somebody in these certain outfits, maybe in that location, and you're like, oh, that could work. Go ahead and get a screenshot, a screen grab of that as well, okay? You want to be making sure, down to shoes, accessories, all kinds of stuff. Anything that's going to help you to capture your day once it gets here. Now, we don't want to forget about the outfits and style, but when it comes to those outfits and style, for each and every single event, you are curating outfits and styles for yourself as well as for your honey. You don't want to leave him out. He may not be as good as you on pulling inspirations of stuff, okay? So he may not be as great as you. So you want to be incorporating his style as well and with your style. So many times I see that it's just become about the brides and that's it. It's her day and what does she want? And I get it, like happy wife, happy life, because that is true. That is true. I should know. I've been married for 6 years, and that is a true statement. Happy wife, happy life. But right now, this is the engagement era, and it's still both about you two, even when you get married. It's not just about one person. They don't have a saying for a happy husband. No, there isn't. I can't think of one. Okay, if somebody thinks of one, put it in the comments. I certainly definitely cannot think of one. But something for the husbands, right? I don't like to leave them out. You guys know over here, we are planning our wedding and it takes two to be in a marriage. So everything is not just about her, right? So you want to be picking out outfits for both of you. And if you can, be thinking about those themes and outfits that you want to share with the guests that will be attending your events. The mood board is created and curated for all of the things involved in those wedding events, okay? So not just the bride and groom, but also trying to incorporate what do you think the guest could wear, because trust me, some of them are going to reach out to you and be like, but what should I wear? What's the theme of your wedding? And they may not be able to get a good gist from it from the venue that you've chosen. They may not be able to get a good gist from it just from your invitation. You know, you may have this grand ballroom and you may have this amazingly elegant invitation, but you may be having more of a casual, upscale attire event that's not so curated to what the venue looks like or what your invitations look like. I mean, I wouldn't do that if I were you. I would try to keep it all cohesive, but people kind of are all over the place because they don't really know what to do. And that's why we're planning, right? That's why we're planning. That is why we are planning. Now, if you are right now in the middle of planning your wedding, or you have already planned a wedding, you've attended a wedding, you had something to do with the wedding, I want you to be my guest. I want you to be a part of this podcast, Your Wedding Series, with me. I would love to do a video call with you and for us to get a chance to talk. I like to interview you. I like to hear your wedding story. No matter if you were a guest, if you were a friend, If you were in the bridal party, oh yes, I definitely want to hear from those that are in the bridal party. If you are making your mood board right now, okay, if you're working on your mood board right now when you're watching this video, it doesn't matter when you watch it, if you are doing that and you're like, I don't understand anything that I should be doing with this, reach out to me. I would like to help you with it. We can talk about it. We can go into more details about it together. And like I said, I would love to have you on the podcast. So it'll be a video Zoom call and we will record it. And then I will play the replay right here on YouTube on the podcast so that others will get a chance to also, we're all learning. We're all learning. We're all planning this together so that people don't feel alone in planning their wedding, right? We want to be doing it all together. So if you would like to be right here on Your Wedding Series podcast, I would love to have you reach out to me. You can do so by contacting me by email at yourcontentcreator@yahoo.com. And guess what? Guys, we're out of time. I will see you lovebirds in the next episode. Bye, lovebirds. See you soon.
Lights, camera, action, baby, strike a pose. Phones and cameras out, just watch it all unfold. We're the stars of the show, ain't no need for filters. Living life through the lens, capturing our thrills. Put away your phones and cameras, let the good times roll. Our content creators got it all under control. From weddings to events, parties, travel and brands, we're living the paparazzi life. It's all in our hands. Lights, camera, action, we're ready to go. We're professionals, don't you already know? From TikTok to Instagram, we're taking the lead. Content creator, we're planting the seed. Get ready for the social media explosion.